this torrid period online where the debate carries on about talent versus outsiders, the clique and dynasty debate, I thought it would be a point of great discussion on the channel if we discuss what we believe are the most unpopular opinions regarding the Hindi film industry. These are everyone's personal opinions of what they absolutely hate or are uncomfortable about, and things that they loved but don't confess in public. Let's not shame anyone for having these opinions. I'm just trying to protect myself so that I don't get massive hate. Anyway, getting right into it, here is Tried&Refused Productions with 8 very unpopular Bollywood movie opinions all of you will hate me for. The new generation. In today's time, when I see Sara Ali Khan starring in Atrangi Re as the female lead with Akshay Kumar and Dhanush, the age gap seems a bit uncomfortable to me, especially when the poster that comes out is this. Even when I see Ananya, more power to her for trying, but portrayed in an extremely sexualized manner as the hot girl in Pati Patni Aur Wo, her decked up makeup, cheeky hemline dress with her baby face, all seemed a bit uncomfortable to me. All of them are adults and we've had young actresses play such bold roles for many decades, and I understand it is all based on selling a film. So you get actors who are marketable, but in today's social climate, especially the young actresses and their pairings with stars, especially in a time where capable in the appropriate age bracket actors are available and are craving for work, it seems just a bit odd and creepy to me. Salman Khan. The actor has always generated an oscillating feeling for me. When I see him genuinely try, I love him in some moments in movies like Sultan and Bharat. And when he goes all out to try and present a great product, he blows it out of the park with Bajrangi Bhaijaan. But most of the time, sadly, there seems to be little effort in the product as well as the acting. One thing, however, that I am not a fan of are the products that are generated by Salman as a writer, lyricist and singer. Creating duds as a writer with films like Chandramukhi and Veer, Salman wrote creative gems of songs like Selfish and I Found Love from Race 3. This current lockdown has kickstarted his auto-tune singing career as well with Bhai Bhai and Tere Bina. I just want to say I like it when Salman makes an effort with his acting performances and does not provide us creative lines like Ek bar baby selfish, okay, apne liye jiyo na. Let's stick to acting. Sajid Khan is actually an embodiment of Christopher Nolan. अच्छा थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया. Okay, let's get back to serious news. Okay, here. Priyanka Chopra is the real hero of Bajirao Mastani. Bajirao Mastani was one of the biggest hits of 2015. The film was marketed towards enchanting the Indian audience with the eternal love between Bajirao and Mastani. The trailer started and ended with Bajirao and Mastani, showcasing how despite the conquests, the love and bond between them could never be broken. Ending the visuals with the statement Bajirao ne Mastani ke saath mohabbat ki hai, ayyashi nahi. Where the creators wanted for us to get lost in that romance, it was Priyanka Chopra as Kashi, according to me, that stole the show and won our hearts. According to me, the Bajirao and Mastani romance presented was just one tone, deep but destructive. But the actual internal struggle and dichotomy was faced by Kashi, an individual who could do anything for her husband, who did not even think twice before loving someone else. Kashi was with Bajirao every step of the way, and to come to terms with how a person you could give your life to didn't hesitate to love once more, Priyanka beautifully showcased that internal battle, and according to me, was the real hero of the story. Baar Baar Dekho and A Gentleman were panned undeservingly. Baar Baar Dekho and A Gentleman were two films that came out before I started doing movie reviews. These were films that were panned drastically by movie critics as train wrecks and horrible attempts at filmmaking. Shocked at the absolute vitriol faced by these films, both starring Siddharth Malhotra, I revisited them and realized these are merely films that are above average in execution and actually enjoyable in many parts. Baar Baar Dekho as a concept, in parts being inspired by Click, was an earnest attempt at a character realizing what is truly important in the journey of personal aspirations. One of the first signs of Katrina Kaif as a performer genuinely emoting, and according to me, having one of the most underrated music albums with great gems created by Prateek Kuhad and Jasleen Royal. A Gentleman is honestly a guilty pleasure created by Raj and DK. It's silly, it's hilarious in bits, and it is what it is, an above average action comedy. I felt that the harsh reviews both the films got was a bit excessive, and the films weren't as bad as advertised by film experts. Romantic films are actually not dead. There is a perception among trade experts in the industry, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, that romantic films do not work in the box office. The honest truth, however, is that There have been some awful products presented by the Hindi film industry in the form of Jab Harry Met Sejal and the new Love Aajkal. And the ones that had all the elements of a great film were not marketed enough, like Laila Majnu and Sanam Teri Kasam. Especially when you look at some of the regional romantic films created in the last 5 years, in the form of Premam, Muramba, 96 and Geeta Govindam. It's not that the audience does not gravitate towards romantic films anymore, it's just that we need more engaging storylines. Jackie Shroff is a phenomenal actor and no one notices. You know, there are some actors who have extremely mysterious personas in interviews. Not much is known about their personal life through these interactions. They stay a bit aloof on social media and completely immerse themselves in roles in front of camera. Jake Gyllenhaal and Joaquin Phoenix are some of those actors that maintain that sense of distance from the masses so that the curiosity is restricted to the characters they portray in front of camera. This often leads to audiences never stating as a criticism that he's playing himself, something that actors like The Rock and Kevin Hart or even Ranveer Singh and Varun Dhawan, who have a huge personality outside of films, can feel trapped into. The most interesting personality according to me is Apna Bidu Jackie Shroff, an actor who is mostly in his own zone in public interviews, which creates this sense of wonder even in his brashness and unpredictable behavior about who is he really. What many people don't give Shroff credit for is that he is actually a very phenomenal actor with a huge range, be it earlier films like Parinda and Gardish, character roles like Chunni Bai and Devdas, Hilal Koshtani in Mission Kashmir, intelligence agent Shrikant Roy in Romeo Akbar Walter, and especially Singh Perumal in the Tamil film Aranyakandam. The man has range, and I guess because of his off-screen persona, he never really gets credit for his performances. Except for Article 15 and Andhadhun, Ayushmann Khurrana is getting stuck in the slice of life formula. The most bankable star undoubtedly today in the Hindi film industry is Ayushmann Khurrana. There is a perception within the industry that whatever he touches in terms of films will result in financial success. Where I have to laud Ayushmann Khurrana for experimenting and successfully so with films like Article 15 and Andhadhun, I fear that in the future, audiences will get tired of the slice of life formulaic films. These are movies which focus on common social issues and foreseeable and achievable roadblocks is the main plot. Where these stories are convincing, I fear that Ayushmann playing the easily irritable North Indian character constantly doing mimicry will get exhausting for audiences, and he will have to constantly reinvent himself in other universes other than this formulaic slice of life movies. Houseful 4 is better than Back to the Future. Zyada ho gaya? I'm kidding. Let's get serious. Everyone is not the enemy. In the video that I made about the infamous Kangana and Arnab interview, I really wanted to focus on what I didn't talk about, and which has become the talking point online today. This is definitely a lapse in my judgment of creating a holistic argument initially, and I want to apologize for that. Where I respect Kangana as an actor and what she represents, I feel like it's important to communicate with her that her exceptional performances can coexist with other great performances. Manikarnika, despite not being a perfect film, Ranaut's portrayal of the freedom fighter Rani Lakshmibai was praiseworthy. The important point to communicate is that her excellent performance can coexist with Ranveer and Alia doing a great job in Gully Boy as well. Gully Boy, when it came out, was praised by many, including me, for its revolutionary take of bringing local rap and artists to the mainstream. You may bring the argument that Gully Boy should have not been considered for the Oscars, and the Tamil film Super Deluxe or the Malayalam film Jallikattu should have been considered. But to outrightly say Gully Boy was a mediocre film is not fair. No one had this opinion when the film came out, and now for this stance to conveniently appear seems a bit odd. I feel like the need to pull down others who represent the same struggle as Kangana, like Taapsee and Swara, labeling them as needy outsiders, defeats the purpose of what Kangana stands for. Where her attempt to call out the problems of the structure in the film industry are laudable, this constant need to belittle others and create the narrative that everyone's the villain leaves a sour taste in everyone's mouth. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what are your unpopular opinions regarding the Hindi film industry. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.